All right, looking at frequency tables and histograms. So let's start with this string of data. We have 1, 2, 2, 5, 7, 2, 9, 3, 4, 5, 7, 7, 1. All right, so let's make a frequency table for this string of data. So a frequency table is simply a record of tally marks. So you're going to take the numbers and the frequency with which they occur and just make a few tally marks so you can keep track of them. Sorry if all you can hear is the rainstorm. I've been waiting for it to quit, not quitting, so I'm just plowing ahead. All right. Typically when we do a frequency table, we will cluster our information. So instead of saying, like number 1 occurred this often, we might say something like the numbers between 0 and 2, and then the numbers between 3 and 5, the numbers between 6 and 8, and the numbers 9 and above. Okay? So let's go ahead and track the frequency. So let's start with the numbers between 0 and 2. So that would be 1, 2, 2, 2, and 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So we'll just put 5 tally marks. Oh, you get the idea. 5 tally marks in our frequency column. So now let's look at our next category, which would be 3 through 5. So that would include the numbers 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we have 3 of those. Now look at the numbers 6 through 8. So we have, oh, wait, go back. I missed a 5. Right there. So we actually have 4 in that column. Okay, so numbers 6 through 8, so there's a 7, and a 7. So we have 3 in that column. And finally 9 and above, and we just have 1 value there. Okay, so there is our frequency chart that shows how often those clusters of numbers appear. So now we need to do our histogram. A histogram is just the positive quadrant. So if I were to look at my frequency table as an XY chart, the x-axis would be the numbers, the y-axis would be the frequency. So we're just going to take the information from the frequency chart, put it on the histogram. So here we would have the range of values from 0 to 2. The next one, the range of values from 3 to 5. Here the range of values from 6 to 8. And finally the range of values of 9 plus. So notice these are kind of broken up, and rather than the information being, right on this line, we're actually spacing the information in between the lines. Okay, so let's look at the frequency then. Looks like we have values between 1 and 5, so we'll go ahead and start at 0, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's start first with our 0 to 2 values, and we had a frequency of 5. So 0 to 2, we're going to block this whole thing in. So the numbers between 0 and 2 occurred a frequency of 5 times. Next we have the values from 3 to 5. They had a frequency of 4. So we'll hook right onto that. Kind of missed. But there's our block for the values 3 through 5 that had a frequency of 4. Now we have the numbers 6 through 8 with a frequency of 3. And finally, the numbers 9 plus, which had a frequency of 1. So you can see that a frequency table yields the information to put in a histogram, and a histogram really resembles a bar chart more than any other type of graph.